Welcome to my channel Pocket Change Coins, because, as you know, old is gold. Some of the rarest coins worth big money could be hiding in your hands right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Let's dive in. First, we are diving deep into the rich and fascinating history of one of the most iconic and highly sought-after coins in American numismatics, the United States Mercury I dime from the year 1937. This tiny silver masterpiece is more than just pocket change, it's a treasure that holds immense value and an incredible story for collectors around the world. The 1937 Mercury dime is part of a legendary series that was minted between 1916 and 1945, known for its stunning and symbolic design. Often mistaken for the Roman god Mercury, the figure on the front is actually Lady Liberty wearing a winged cap, representing freedom of thought, a powerful and timeless symbol that resonates with American ideals. The reverse features a fasces and an olive branch, symbolizing unity and peace through strength. This artistry combined with history makes the Mercury dime a favorite among passionate collectors. Now, what makes the 1937 Mercury dime especially exciting is not just its beautiful design, it's the rarity and the specific minting errors that have made some versions of this coin extremely valuable. Over the years, collectors have discovered that some 1937 dimes were struck with noticeable variations and mistakes that skyrocketed their value. These aren't just flaws, they're numismatic goldmines, turning what was once a 10-cent coin into something worth thousands and even tens of thousands of dollars. One of the most famous and desirable features to look for is a full band strike, often abbreviated as FB. This refers to the horizontal lines across the fasces on the reverse side of the coin. On high-grade dimes, you can clearly see the full separation of these bands, which indicates a strong, crisp strike by the mint, something that didn't happen often back then. A 1937 Mercury dime with full bands is far rarer than a typical circulated one, and the collector demand for these gems is extremely high. Even more intriguing are the rare minting errors that make certain 1937 Mercury dimes ultra-valuable. These can include off-center strikes, double dies where parts of the design appear doubled, or die cracks that create raised lines or distortions in the metal. Imagine finding a dime where Liberty's profile appears twice, slightly overlapping. That's a double die error, and collectors go crazy for these kinds of anomalies. These are not only rare but often one-of-a-kind, which makes them incredibly exciting for both seasoned and new collectors. There have also been reports of repunched mint marks on some 1937 D Mercury dimes, where the D for Denver appears stamped more than once, often slightly shifted. Spotting this requires a magnifying glass or microscope, but the reward can be huge. These small minting quirks add a layer of uniqueness to the coin and push its market value higher and higher. Any of these details, if present on a coin in good condition, can make the difference between a simple dime and a valuable collector's prize. The condition of the coin is absolutely everything when it comes to determining its value. Coins that have been preserved in brilliant uncirculated or mint state condition, those with no scratches, no wear, and that bright original luster, are what collectors dream of. A coin graded MS 65 or higher with full bands or an error can multiply in value many times over. These coins are rare not just because of their age, but because few people ever preserved them in such perfect shape from so many decades ago. Now let's talk about the market and recent sales. In recent years, high-grade 1937 Mercury dimes with strong full bands or notable errors have been lighting up auction blocks across the country. Collectors are paying top dollar to get their hands on these coins, especially when they're authenticated and graded by top services like PCGS or NGC. The competition is fierce, and the value is only going up as demand continues to rise and supply remains limited. In one particularly exciting auction, a pristine 1937 Mercury dime featuring full bands and in exceptional mint state condition stunned collectors when it sold for $98,000. Yes, you heard that right, $98,000 for a 10-cent coin. That's the kind of return that sends chills down your spine and reminds us all why coin collecting is as thrilling as it is rewarding. So, here's what you should do next. If you've got a stash of old dimes at home, now is the perfect time to take a closer look. Check the date, look for that 1937, and examine it under a light or magnifier to see if the full bands are present or if any errors jump out. If the coin is in excellent condition, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. And if you think you found something special, get it graded and authenticated, because you just might be holding a treasure in your hands. Collectors, we want to hear from you. Have you ever come across a 1937 Mercury dime? Do you own one, or are you hunting for that perfect piece to add to your collection? Drop a comment below and share your experience. If you have questions about other Mercury dimes or coin values, leave them below and we might feature your question in our next video. Second rare coin, we're talking about the United States 1 dime coin from the year 2000 with the Denver Mint mark, the 2000 Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it may look like any other dime, but trust me, there's more to this little silver piece than meets the eye. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American currency since 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt and his legacy. The obverse features his dignified profile, while the reverse proudly displays a torch flanked by olive and oak branches, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. But in the year 2000, something unusual happened during the minting process at the Denver Mint, and that's what makes the 2000 dime stand out in the world of collectors. While millions of these dimes were minted, a small number came off the press with rare and fascinating minting errors. These aren't just minor imperfections, we're talking about dramatic, eye-catching anomalies that turn an ordinary coin into a valuable collectible. Errors like these are incredibly appealing to collectors because they are unintentional, hard to replicate, and very limited in number. They carry a sense of mystery, history, and uniqueness that truly elevates their value. One of the most sought-after errors found on the 2000 dime is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the press during minting, resulting in the design being shifted noticeably to one side. The greater the percentage of the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible. Finding one like this in high-grade condition is like finding a needle in a haystack, but when you do, the reward can be jaw-dropping. Another incredibly rare and valuable error that collectors chase is the double die. This error occurs when the die that strikes the coin has an accidental doubling, causing parts of the design, like the words, Liberty, or, In God We Trust, to appear slightly duplicated or shadowed. It's a subtle but stunning feature that, when spotted, can instantly transform the value of the coin. Coins with a clearly visible double die are highly desirable and can fetch thousands more than their face value. You might also want to look closely for die cracks or die chips, which appear as raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. While these might look like damage to an untrained eye, they are actually minting flaws and can be quite rare depending on the size and placement. These features add character and uniqueness to a coin and can significantly boost its market appeal, especially when found on a coin from a high mintage year like 2000, where finding genuine errors is rare. Collectors should also be on the lookout for transitional errors, coins that were accidentally struck using the wrong metal composition or incorrect dies. While none have been officially confirmed for the 2000 dime, the possibility always keeps the hunt exciting. It's this mystery, this sense of what if, that keeps collectors around the world constantly checking and rechecking their pocket change, hoping to find that one magical coin. To evaluate the value of a 2000 dime, condition is key. Coins that have been kept in brilliant uncirculated condition, or that grade high on the Sheldon scale, think MS 65 and above, are worth far more than those that have seen years of circulation. Pair that condition with a major mint error, and you have a recipe for a coin that collectors will fight over at auctions. This isn't just coin collecting, this is history in your hand, and it could be worth thousands. Auction houses and online platforms have seen a surge in interest in Roosevelt dimes from the late 1990s and early 2000s, especially those with dramatic mint errors. With more collectors entering the hobby and fewer error coins surviving in top condition, the demand is growing every single year. And when demand goes up and supply stays low, prices soar, which is exactly what we're seeing with select examples of the 2000 dime. In one recent sale, a stunning 2000 Roosevelt dime featuring a highly visible off-center strike in pristine mint state condition shocked the community when it sold for $30,000. Yes, that's right, $30,000 for a single dime. This is the kind of unbelievable yet entirely possible discovery that keeps the numismatic world buzzing with excitement, so now is the time to start checking your change, digging through your old coin jars, or revisiting that forgotten collection in your closet. If you come across a 2000D dime, inspect it closely. Look for unusual alignments, doubling in the text, extra blobs of metal, or anything that seems off. And if you suspect you found something rare, have it professionally graded and authenticated. It might just change your life. Collectors, we want to hear from you. Have you ever found a 2000D Roosevelt dime with an unusual feature? Do you think you might have one in your collection right now? Drop a comment below and share your story. You never know who else might have found one too. And if you have any questions about error coins, grading, or values, let us know. We'd love to help you out in a future video. Third expensive coin, we're diving into the incredible story behind a small but mighty coin, the United States 1 dime from the year 1994 with the Philadelphia Mint mark, known as the 1994 P. Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it might look like just another ordinary coin you'd find in your pocket or lying at the bottom of a coin jar, but hold on, this little piece of American currency could be hiding a secret that makes it worth an astonishing fortune. The Roosevelt dime has long been a symbol of American resilience and leadership, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt and his immense contributions to the country. Since 1946, the dime has carried his portrait on the obverse, a dignified tribute to the man who helped lead the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. The reverse features a torch flanked by olive and oak branches, representing liberty, peace, and strength, three powerful pillars of the American spirit. But in 1994, something happened at the Philadelphia Mint that turned an otherwise common coin into a collector's dream. While millions of these coins were produced and circulated across the country, only a tiny fraction of them left the mint with rare and valuable errors, and that's what makes the 1994 P dime so incredibly exciting for collectors. These errors weren't intentional, of course, but that's what gives them their mystique. They're the product of rare minting conditions, and their scarcity makes them immensely valuable in the numismatic world. When a coin is both beautiful and rare, its desirability skyrockets, and so does its price. One of the most fascinating and valuable errors found on the 1994 P. Roosevelt dime is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once with a slightly shifted die, causing a visible doubling effect on the lettering or design elements. Look closely at the words, Liberty, or, In God We Trust. If the letters appear shadowed or overlapping, you may have found one of these elusive double die varieties. Coins with strong and clearly visible doubling are extremely hard to come by, and when they do surface, they are snatched up quickly by eager collectors. Another striking error that makes certain 1994 P dimes so desirable is the off-center strike. This error occurs when the coin blank is not properly aligned in the press, resulting in a coin that has a misaligned or missing portion of the design. These off-center coins are not only visually intriguing but also incredibly rare, especially those with a high percentage of off-center striking while still showing the full date and mint mark. These types of coins are considered true minting marvels and are always in high demand, but that's not all. Die cracks, die chips, and even cut errors have been reported on 1994 P dimes, adding another layer of rarity and uniqueness to certain coins from this year. A die crack appears as a raised line or flaw in the design caused by a fractured die, while a cut error appears as a blob or chunk of missing design where part of the die has broken off. These flaws make every affected coin one of a kind and highly collectible, especially if they appear in visible and dramatic ways. Collectors also go wild for coins that exhibit full torch details. This refers to a sharp, clear strike where all the horizontal lines on the torch are fully visible and well-defined. These coins reflect a higher standard of minting precision and are much harder to find, especially in circulated condition. A 1994 P dime with a mint error and full torch detail, preserved in a high grade, is a numismatic treasure that can command serious attention and value on the collector's market. Condition is everything when it comes to rare coins, and the same holds true for the 1994 P dime. Coins that are found in mint state condition, free from scratches, nicks, and heavy wear, are worth significantly more than their circulated counterparts. Collectors are always looking for the best preserved examples, especially when rare errors are involved. Having your coin professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC can make a huge difference when it comes time to determine its value, and potentially list it for auction. Speaking of auctions, these coins have caused quite a stir in recent years, with top-condition examples selling for impressive amounts across online platforms and major numismatic events. As more collectors enter the hobby and awareness grows about the value of error coins, prices have continued to climb. There's a growing community of enthusiasts who actively hunt for 1990s-era dimes with rare features, and their passion for these coins shows no signs of slowing down. In one jaw-dropping case, a 1994 Roosevelt dime featuring a dramatic minting error in pristine condition shocked collectors when it sold for $40,000. That's right, $40,000 for a 10-cent coin. This isn't just a dream, it's a reality that's been documented, and it proves just how powerful rarity, condition, and demand can be in the world of coin collecting. So don't overlook the change in your pocket. You might be carrying a tiny silver treasure that could change your life. Take a close look at your dimes, especially those from 1994 with the P mint mark. Use a magnifying glass to inspect for any doubling, off-center designs, cracks, or other unusual features. And if you find something special, don't hesitate to have it evaluated and graded, because your dime might be worth far more than just 10 cents. Collectors, we want to hear from you. Have you ever found a 1994 Roosevelt dime with a strange or rare feature? Do you think you might have one sitting in your collection right now? Share your thoughts in the comments and tell us your story. We love hearing from fellow enthusiasts. And if you have any questions about Roosevelt dimes or other rare coins, drop them below and we might feature your question in an upcoming video. Last unique coin, we're talking about the United States $1 coin from the year 1999 with the Philadelphia Mint mark, the 1999 Roosevelt dime. It may be small in size, but don't let that fool you. This coin has stunned collectors across the country with its rare variations and jaw-dropping value. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American currency since 1946, proudly honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt for his immense contributions to the country. The design itself is iconic: Roosevelt's profile on the obverse, and on the reverse, a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. But what sets the 1999 dime apart is not just its place in history, it's the mystery and rarity behind a few extraordinary versions of this coin that have made them one of the most sought-after collectibles in modern numismatics. Even though millions of dimes were minted in 1999, only a tiny number were struck with rare and unusual minting errors that have elevated their value to unimaginable heights. These rare flaws weren't intentional, and that's exactly what makes them special. Coins with such mint mistakes are freaks of the system, incredibly rare, highly collectible, and always in demand. The 1999 dime is a perfect example of how even modern coins can become hidden treasures with the right combination of condition, rarity, and error. One of the most fascinating and valuable errors associated with the 1999 Roosevelt dime is the double die error. If you examine a dime closely and notice that the letters or numbers appear to have a slight shadow or doubling effect, especially around the word liberty or the date, 1999, then you could be holding a double die variety. These are among the most desirable mint errors in the collecting world because they're easy to spot, visually stunning, and extremely scarce. The sharper and clearer the doubling, the more collectors are willing to pay top dollar to get their hands on it. Another error to be on the lookout for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the blank planchet, that's the metal disc that becomes the coin, is not properly aligned in the minting press. The result is a coin with part of the design pushed off to the side, and in some dramatic cases, a portion of the coin might even be completely blank. These errors are visually striking and extremely rare, especially if the date and mint mark are still clearly visible. A 1999 dime with a significant off-center strike is a prize in any collection. Die cracks and die chips are also valuable minting anomalies that can be found on 1999 dimes. These appear as raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface caused by damage or wear on the minting die itself. While they may look like imperfections, they are actually coveted by collectors who love finding coins with unique flaws that set them apart from the millions of other dimes produced. These die-related errors give the coin a one-of-a-kind appearance, adding both character and value. Collectors are also eager to find examples of the 1999p Roosevelt dime with full torch details. This refers to a coin where the torch on the reverse shows complete horizontal lines across both the upper and lower bands. It's a sign of a crisp, well-executed strike from the mint and is highly prized, especially when found in pristine condition. Combine full torch detail with a mint error, and the value can skyrocket. Grading is absolutely crucial when it comes to assessing a coin's value, and the 1999p dime is no exception. Coins that have been carefully preserved and show no signs of wear are considered to be in mint state, and they can command significantly higher prices, especially when combined with a recognized mint error. If you suspect you found one of these rare dimes, having it professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC can make all the difference in unlocking its true market potential. Over the past few years, collectors and investors alike have turned their attention to modern-era dimes with rare errors, and the 1999p dime has become one of the shining stars of this trend. Auction houses and online platforms have seen an uptick in demand, with select error coins selling for thousands of dollars depending on their condition and uniqueness. The combination of rarity, error, and grade creates the perfect storm for a coin that's both historically interesting and financially rewarding. In one unforgettable auction, a 1999p Roosevelt dime with an exceptional off-center strike and remarkable condition stunned the collecting community when it sold for an incredible $35,000. That's right, $35,000 for a coin that once had a face value of just 10 cents. Stories like these are exactly why coin collecting continues to captivate the hearts of people all around the world, because sometimes, history hides in plain sight, and treasure could be sitting right in your hands. So what are you waiting for? Take a closer look at your change, check those coin rolls, and revisit your childhood collection. You never know what you might find. The 1999p Roosevelt dime could be sitting in a drawer, quietly waiting for someone with a keen eye and a bit of luck to uncover its true value. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, the thrill of the hunt is part of what makes this hobby so magical. Now we want to hear from you. Have you ever come across a 1999p dime with unusual features? Do you think you might have one of these rare gems in your collection? Drop a comment below and share your story. Your experience might just inspire someone else to check their own coins. And if you have any questions about grading, error identification, or values, leave them below and we might feature your question in a future video. Thanks for joining us today for another exciting look into the world of rare coins. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to discover hidden treasure. Until next time, keep hunting, stay curious, and happy collecting.